I'm Klay Thompson. I'm Stephen Curry, and we're the Splash Brothers.
For 13 seasons, they reigned as the most feared backcourt in NBA history. Together, they made an astonishing 6,228 three-pointers, appeared in 15 All-Star games, and lifted 4 NBA championships. But now, an era has come to an end. The Splash Brothers, Stephen Curry and Klay Thompson, will no longer share the court as teammates. Their journey was extraordinary, filled with record-breaking performances and an undeniable influence on the evolution of basketball. This is their story, how two overlooked prospects rose to the pinnacle of the sport and forever transformed the way the game is played. The stories of Steph and Klay started in remarkably similar ways. Both were born into athletic families with deep ties to the NBA. Steph's father, Del Curry, played 16 seasons in the league, while Klay's dad, Michael Thompson, had a 13-year career and won 2 championships. Their mothers were also standout athletes. Sonia Curry played volleyball at Virginia Tech, while Julie Thompson played at the University of Portland. Despite their basketball lineage, neither Steph nor Klay were highly recruited in high school. Steph, a skinny 3-star recruit, struggled to gain attention from major colleges and ended up at mid-major Davidson.
Having my dad play in the league and watching him do what he did, it just made me want to work harder. When I was 13, I decided I was just going to play only basketball, got rid of the other sports. Me and my brother would go up to the at the Air Canada Center, we go up to the practice facility, and we shoot for the first half, and then we go watch the second half.
Klay, a 4-star prospect, had decent offers but no guarantees of a starting spot, leading him to Washington State. Both players spent 3 years in college, leaving as their school's all-time leaders in three-pointers made and free throw percentage. Their underdog stories continued in the NBA when the Warriors drafted Steph 7th overall in 2009 and Klay 11th in 2011. Though they were drafted just 2 years apart, Curry and Thompson barely spoke during Klay's rookie year. Their chemistry on the court took time to develop, and their careers almost took separate paths before they even had a chance to shine together. During the 2012 trade deadline, the Warriors had a deal in place to send Steph to the Milwaukee Bucks. However, at the last moment, Bucks team doctors raised concerns about Curry's recurring ankle injuries, believing they would be a long-term issue. Milwaukee backed out, opting to trade for Monta Ellis instead. At the time, many Warriors fans were furious. Ellis was a fan favorite, and keeping an injury-prone guard over an established scorer seemed like a mistake. But what followed was nothing short of this story. In their first full season as a starting backcourt in 2012-13, Curry and Thompson made a combined 483 three-pointers, the most ever by a pair of teammates. Curry set a new NBA record with 272 made threes, while Thompson added 211. Mark Jackson, their coach at the time, famously called them the greatest shooting backcourt of all time.
The greatest shooting backcourt that's ever played this game.
Skeptics laughed at the claim, but Jackson saw what the world had yet to realize. That same year, Warriors writer Brian Witt coined the nickname Splash Brothers, a play on the Bash Brothers of baseball's Oakland A's. As their three-pointers continued to rain down, the nickname spread like wildfire, and a new era of basketball was born. In 2014, the Splash Brothers nearly split again when the Warriors seriously considered trading Klay for All-Star forward Kevin Love. It took the intervention of team consultant Jerry West, who reportedly threatened to leave the organization if the trade happened, to keep Thompson in Golden State. Once again, fate ensured that the duo stayed together. The 2014-15 season was a revelation. Under new head coach Steve Kerr, the Warriors revolutionized the game.
Look, the amount of threes that Kevin Love shoots is very similar to Klay, and now we have a big that can shoot, and we have and they begged him to do not trade Klay, do not.
They embraced a fast-paced, three-point heavy offense built around Curry and Thompson's unparalleled shooting ability. Golden State finished the season with a 67-15 record, the best in franchise history. Curry shattered his own record with 286 made threes, while Klay hit 239. Their combined 525 three-pointers redefined what was possible from a backcourt duo. That season also gave us one of the most legendary single-game performances in NBA history.
Bombing away from three like we do kind of flipped the basketball world upside down, and I think we're seeing that all over basketball now, which a lot of people say it's ruined the game, but I think it's kind of just been an innovative aspect of the game, to be honest.
On January 23, 2015, Klay Thompson scored an absurd 37 points in a single quarter against the Sacramento Kings. He shot a perfect 13 for 13 from the field, including 9 for 9 from deep. setting an NBA record for the most points in one quarter, a record that still stands today. The Warriors went on to win their first NBA championship in 40 years, defeating LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers in 6 games. Curry won the league MVP but controversially received 0 Finals MVP votes despite averaging 26 points, 5 rebounds, and 6 assists. Nevertheless, the championship silenced the doubters. The Splash Brothers weren't just a gimmick, they were the future of basketball. Still, critics dismissed the Warriors' title as a fluke. The next season, they proved everyone wrong in historic fashion. The Warriors opened the 2015-16 campaign with an unprecedented 24-0 start.
We started off 24-0. That part of it alone was I
forgot about that part.
Yeah, that part was the craziest thing in the world just because we had OD confidence. We had chemistry, like you said. Let's just go win every single game.
And went on to finish the regular season with a 73-9 record, surpassing the 1995-96 Chicago Bulls 72-10 mark. Curry had a season for the ages, becoming the first unanimous MVP in league history after averaging 30.1 points per game and sinking a jaw-dropping 402 three-pointers. Klay added 276, pushing their combined total to an unfathomable 678 threes in one season, a record that still stands. By then, the NBA had fully embraced the three-point revolution. The average team attempted 24 threes per game in 2016, while the Warriors led the league with 32 attempts. Their offensive system, built around pace and space, completely changed how teams approached the game. The season was filled with unforgettable moments, but perhaps the most iconic came when Curry hit a 38-foot game-winning three against the Oklahoma City Thunder, turning around before the ball even went through the net. That shot was a defining moment, not just for Curry, but for the evolution of modern basketball. Despite taking a 3-1 lead in the NBA Finals against the Cavaliers, the Warriors became the first team in history to lose the finals after being up 3-1. LeBron and Kyrie Irving led the Cavs to a stunning comeback, denying the Warriors their second straight title. Despite the 2016 finals loss, the impact of the Splash Brothers was irreversible. They had already transformed the game. Young players across the world modeled their game after Curry and Thompson.
Playoff run, obviously 7-3-9. Then we get into the playoffs, I get hurt. Miss like 3 weeks of playoffs, come back. We get to Western Conference Finals, we're down 3-1. Like, people think our season's over with. Come back. So we were on both sides of a 3-1 situation. And then the finals, obviously, I think the wheels just fell off. And Kyrie and LeBron played unbelievable for 3 straight games. Like, I don't think people talk about that part of it as much as always think, oh, we all sucked. Like, we got beat. Like, we didn't lose, we got beat.
The Warriors would go on to win 3 more championships in the next 4 years, with Kevin Durant joining them in 2016.
I don't know. If we win, we might not get Kevin. So, like, it all worked out, but that one hurt.
The foundation of Golden State's success remained the Splash Brothers. Their movement, spacing, and gravity on the court opened up endless opportunities for teammates, redefining offensive basketball. The game of basketball will never be the same again because of the Splash Brothers. The Splash Brothers were the NBA's highest-scoring duo, averaging a staggering 52.2 points per game. As the playoffs commenced, the Golden State Warriors breezed past the Rockets and the Blazers. However, the Western Conference Finals against OKC proved to be their biggest challenge. Facing a daunting 3-1 series deficit, the Warriors seemed on the verge of elimination. In the decisive Game 7, the Splash Brothers took over, combining for 57 of Golden State's 96 points. Their dominance secured yet another trip to the NBA Finals. They became the first duo to drain at least 30 threes in a single playoff series, finishing with a combined 62 makes, outshining the Thunder's entire team, which managed just 55. Draymond Green was suspended for an infamous altercation, and in Game 5, Golden State lost their defensive anchor, Andrew Bogut, to injury. With their front court weakened, the Cavaliers capitalized. The arrival of KD in 2017 transformed Golden State into an unstoppable force. They won 67 games, set the highest offensive rating ever at the time, and dominated in nearly every statistical category. Curry and Thompson continued making history, becoming the first players to hit at least 200 threes in 5 consecutive seasons. Early in the season, Steph set a new NBA record, draining 13 three-pointers against the Pelicans.
Even like my 10 years being here, I feel like I played for 3 different teams. A team that sucked, to a team trying to figure it out, and to the established team that we got now where We're very confident in who we are, what we all bring to the table. Yeah, I like this one.
Meanwhile, Klay had his own historic moment on December 5th, scoring an electrifying 60 points in just 29 minutes. He needed only 11 dribbles and became the first player in NBA history to drop 60 points in under 30 minutes of play. When the playoffs arrived, the Warriors steamrolled through the West, sweeping every opponent. In 2018, the Warriors took a more relaxed approach in the regular season, but the Splash Brothers still extended their streak of consecutive 203 seasons. In the playoffs, however, their path wasn't as smooth as the previous year. The Rockets pushed them to the brink in the conference finals, taking a 3-2 lead and then building a double-digit halftime advantage in Game 7. However, fate intervened. The Rockets missed a mind-boggling 27 consecutive three-pointers, allowing Golden State to rally and secure another finals appearance. This time, the Cavs never stood a chance. The only competitive game was Game 1, which became infamous for J.R. Smith's blunder.
I look at Bron like pointing like this. Oh, is he pointing at? I look over. Oh man! And after that, it was just like I know that it just happened. Nothing fun.
After LeBron's 49-point masterpiece, Smith mistakenly ran out the clock, believing Cleveland had the lead. Golden State took full advantage, winning in overtime and cruising to a dominant sweep. Durant once again claimed Finals MVP. The 2019 season began with the Warriors still looking unstoppable, racing to a 10-1 start. However, KLAY Thompson started off in a slump, struggling with his shot over the first 7 games. He failed to score 20 points in any game and shot a dismal 5 for 36 from deep. In a historic performance, KLAY Thompson tied an NBA record by draining 10 three-pointers in the first half. But he didn't stop there. In the second half, he added 4 more, breaking Stephen Curry's record for the most threes in a single game. By the final buzzer, KLAY had racked up 52 points in just 27 minutes, hitting 14 of his 24 attempts from beyond the arc. Meanwhile, for the 7th consecutive season, the Splash Brothers, Steph and KLAY, had made at least 200 three-pointers each, all while shooting above 40% from deep, an unheard of feat in NBA history. Yet, by 2019, their three-point dominance was almost expected.
That's the hard part when you're at the top. It's a daily reminder you have to come in with the right perspective. One person slips or one rumor narrative cements itself in your head, like we're on spotlight all the time.
The Warriors' season, however, became more defined by internal conflicts, most notably the heated exchange between Kevin Durant and Draymond Green in a game against the Clippers. One misstep, one rumor, one moment of doubt. Everything was scrutinized under the relentless spotlight. The finals, however, told a different story. The Toronto Raptors, with their deep roster and tactical defense, overwhelmed the depleted Warriors. Though Steph and KLAY fought valiantly, the supporting cast struggled to contribute.
First 4 games, the Raptors were dominant and lead 3 games to 1. But all of a sudden, Golden State has a new addition. Kevin Durant will...
Forcing Toronto to rethink its defensive schemes. But disaster struck again. KD tore his Achilles early in Game 5. The Warriors won that night, but their championship dreams took a fatal blow in Game 6 when KLAY suffered a torn ACL. In a display of pure determination, he attempted to return to the game, unwilling to accept that his season, and possibly the dynasty, was over. Before the injury, he had been shooting a career-best 59% from 3 in the finals. Without 2 of their 3 superstars, Golden State couldn't hold off Kawhi Leonard and the Raptors, who claimed their first NBA championship. The Warriors' remarkable 5-year finals run, a feat unseen since the 1960s Celtics, came to a heartbreaking end.
Hard to separate yourself and really be okay with, okay, this might not be our year. Like, that's a really hard thing to accept.
The following season, with both KLAY and Curry sidelined by injuries, Golden State plummeted to a league-worst 15-50 record. The setbacks kept piling up. KLAY's grueling ACL rehab cost him the entire 2019-20 season, and just as he was preparing to return, he suffered another devastating blow, a torn Achilles. Another year lost, another crushing disappointment. That call was a gut punch, his teammates admitted.
To get that call was a gut punch for sure. A lot of tears, you don't really know what to say, because a guy like that having to go through 2 pretty serious rehabs now. But at the end of the day, we have to have his back. We hope that he's around and he's part of what we're going to do this year through his rehab and staying connected with us.
Meanwhile, Steph carried the Warriors on his back, delivering an MVP-worthy 2020-21 campaign. He led the league in scoring with 32 points per game, hit a staggering 337 three-pointers, and played the best defense of his career.
Year, all things considered. And a new experience for me. Tried to make the most of it. Come back, bottle this up, everybody make the right strides, take advantage of the summer, and don't want to see us next year.
At Madison Square Garden, Curry made his 2,974th three-pointer, surpassing Ray Allen to become the NBA's all-time leader. Later, he shined in the All-Star game, scoring 50 points, just 2 shy of the record. The Warriors stormed through the playoffs, eliminating the Nuggets, Grizzlies, and Mavericks to reach yet another finals. As always, Steph and Klay led the charge, averaging 46 points per game combined. But against the Boston Celtics, adversity struck again. Down 2-1 in the series, the Warriors needed a spark. Steph delivered. In Game 4, he played perhaps the finest game of his career, scoring 43 points and grabbing 10 rebounds to will Golden State to victory. The Celtics never recovered. The Warriors closed out the series in 6 games, securing their 4th title in the Splash Brothers era. For the first time in his career, Curry was named Finals MVP unanimously. No matter where their careers go from here, the names Steph Curry and Klay Thompson will forever be linked as the most dominant shooting tandem the game has ever seen. Thank you for reading. If you enjoyed this deep dive, be sure to like button, subscribe to our channel for more great basketball content. Drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Until next time, stay inspired and keep creating. See you soon.